Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Quest for Glory. So you want to be a hero. I'm your host, Serge LOVES, and I'll be guiding you through one of the greatest adventure games of all time. This game, of course, is a personal favorite of mine, and as you could all see from that little wonderful splash screen, this, my friends, is what we call one of those classic Sierra adventure games, like King's Quest and Space Quest and Leisure Suit Larry. However, the difference is that this one is also an RPG, as in we create a character and we play as them and they grow and our actions determine how the story goes. It's super amazing, guys. It really is. And I have decided that I'm going to play through the first 4 games, because the 5th game is a horrible abomination and I refuse to acknowledge its existence. So, why is this game so great? Well, y'all will just have to see for yourselves. So let's go ahead and start a new game. Start a new hero. So, we can choose our character. And as you can see, we get 3 choices. The fighter, the magic user, and the thief. And I'm going to go with the fighter because I like the fighter's story in particular, especially after the 2nd game. We can give our hero a name and affect his strength, all of his stats and everything else like that. And if we wanted to, we could cross-class by just giving him some magic or the picking lock ability. So we can kind of do that. Unfortunately, only certain characters know certain things. So we might be able to get him to pick locks and stuff, but he still wouldn't be considered a thief, even though we could thief with him. Only the thief knows certain thiefly things, and only the mage can do certain magey things. But the reason why we can do this is because there is always more than one way to solve a puzzle. And that is just another strength for this game. Unlike King's Quest and Space Quest and all those other ones, there are multiple ways to solve the games. And as such, let's go ahead and give him a name. Devin Aiden Dale. That's his actual canonical name. I could name him anything I want, but I figure since I'm gonna take you through the story of this game, might as well just stick with the classic. Devin Aiden Dale from Willowsby. Yes, I know y'all have no idea where Willowsby is or anything in relation to this game, but they never mention it in game. This is extracurricular stuff. I've put in a ton of research into this game just because it is one of my favorite settings and everything else. And God, I just love this game. Look, you're hearing me gush. So, all right. So we got 50 points to spend into our attributes. Strength, of course, is one of the most important stats for a fighter. So I'm going to go ahead and put another point in that, another one into weapon use, another one into parry, and then I'm going to put some points into, no, not throwing, climbing. Let's go ahead and put some points into climbing. Intelligence doesn't matter too much, so I'm going to put 2 additional more points into agility and vitality. And I'm going to go ahead and put more into strength. And with that, let's start the story. This seems like a quiet little town. On the porch ahead of you are 2 people. The standing one is large, rather ugly, and playing with a yo-yo. The seated person smoking a pipe looks like he might be the sheriff. The man with the pipe greets you. Welcome to our town. You are lucky to have made it down from the mountains before the snow blocked the pass again. It's gotten pretty dangerous outside of town, I understand. Many monsters have been trapped around here with the late snow. Between them and the brigands, we certainly could use a hero around here. I'm Sheriff Schultz Masterson, and this is Otto von Goon, my assistant. Good luck in your quest. Alright, so, like a standard Sierra game, we've got the walk-up motions, we've got the eye, the hand, the mouth, and then this star little icon right here, and then this star icon right here. Well, this grade 1, we will never be able to use until much later into the series. Much later. So this will never be used in this game. The first one, at least. So, what's the first star? Well, my friends, I'm glad you asked. Additional options. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, additional options. I can stand, I can sneak, I can run, and then I can sneak. There's also the resting option, and then our character sheet, as well as what time of day it is. So let's look at our character sheet. As you already saw before, here it is, and everything else. So, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sheriff. Schultz appears to be an affable old coot, content to smoke his pipe. There's a hardness behind his eyes, however, that gives you reason to believe that he's no pushover. There's more than a hint of ogre about this strange and bulky character. He seems cheerful, though. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to him. And this is how the dialogue works. In the old EGA version, you had to use a text parser and literally type out what you wanted to ask, what you wanted to know, what you wanted to do, and everything else. It was really interesting, and it was only as limited by what they could program into it. It's very rare for anyone to create an intense parser where it will respond to everything that you say and do. However, the parser is a very classic thing, and I know a lot of old school adventure players like myself sometimes kind of prefer it. I say like myself because I grew up on games like this. I played the entire King's Quest, the entire Space Quest. I even played the first Leisure Suit Larry, and as you already can tell, I've already played the entire Quest for Glory and such as like that. I even played the first 2 Police Quest games, so that should give you an idea of how old these games are and just how much I love them. But yeah, back to this interface. We just choose the topic that we want to talk about, and from that point on, we will receive dialogue on that. You should know, you came down here from there. Okay, let's talk about the town. This town was named after the barons of Spielberg. It used to be a lively place to be before the brigands came and drove all the business away. You can find a place to stay at the inn next door. You can learn about jobs available at the guild hall down the street. If you are interested in magic, you should visit the magic shop. There's still plenty to do and see here in Spielberg. Alright, well, let's ask about the baron. Baron Stefan keeps mostly to himself at his castle north of here. We haven't seen him here in town for years. Alright, well, let's ask about magic. Just next to the inn is a small magic shop. The owner, Zara, will let you in if you have some abilities in that area. She's a strange one, alright. Alright, let's ask about the inn. Go talk to the innkeeper. He will help you there. Alright, well, what about the guild hall? The guild hall is at the southwest corner of town. If you're looking for work, that's a good place to go. Alright, and we just go back to something else if we want to go back up. It's kind of like a dialogue tree, essentially. That's the word I was looking for before. Now let's ask about the monsters. The monsters come down from the mountains every winter, but they're usually gone by now. The Baron just doesn't have enough men to handle them. Wolfgang is the one to talk about monsters. He's had a lot of experience with them. Okay, who's Wolfgang? Wolfgang down at the guild hall is the one to talk about monsters. He's had a lot of experience with them. I just nearly repeated myself. And we've already asked about the guild hall. Alright, so let's talk about the brigands. There's a whole band of brigands hiding out somewhere in the mountains around us. They robbed a merchant just last week. Got a fair amount of treasure, I hear. The merchant? The one who was robbed? He's staying at the inn, I believe. Alright, we already asked about the inn, so let's ask about the treasure. Obtaining treasure involves putting yourself in danger. If you're brave, foolish, or lucky, you might get some treasure. Of course. Okay, let's ask about danger. My friend, this world's filled with dangers. Sometimes I think it might be better to choose your danger rather than sitting around waiting for it as I seem to do. But enough of this philosophical rambling. I am content enough to be Sheriff of Spielberg. Well, you certainly look content. I wish I had a pipe like that. Alright. Now, did I already ask about adventure? No, I didn't. You'll need to talk to the Baron about that. Or go ask Wolfgang down at the Guild Hall, which is just down the street. So maybe you're going to be a hero. Well, we could surely use one around here, what with all the brigands. Alright, so let's guess name. I am Sheriff Voltsmosse, and this is Otto von Gun. My introductory speech. Let's ask about Otto. Otto is a big help to me. He's very smart for a goon. His prisoners only suffer a few broken bones when he grabs them. It took a bit of doing to teach him to bring prisoners back alive, but he hardly ever forgets now. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Prisoners. It's simple. When someone breaks the law and we catch them, we hold them prisoner. Oh shit, look at him go! Woo! That guy is a yo-yo master. Don't mess with his yo-yo ma. Okay, I won't make a joke like that again. Alright, so the eye icon, as you can already tell, which I've used before, y'all saw me do it, can be used to look at things. The ugly statue seems to be watching you. The sign reads, Hero's Tail Inn. If this is the town water supply, no wonder nobody ever comes here. Right, let's look at ourselves. What a guy! Let's go ahead and head to the inn. Do 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 do. Welcome, traveler, to the Hero's Tail Inn. I am Shamin at your service. May you find what you seek here. Alright, well, let's talk to him. Very good food, very good drink, finest in town. Sit, rest, you will be served by my Shima. Ask about room. Very nice room, very soft beds, finest in town, only 5 silvers a night. Okay, what about food? Very good food. Okay, yes. Already said that. Merchant. My friend Abdullah is recovering from his robbery last week. He should be here around supper time. Alright, so we would have to come in around supper time to talk to that merchant. Alright, let's ask about the robbery. Alas, the brigands stole all of Abdullah's wealth and mine own when they robbed his caravan. Now I will be forced to stay in this cold, wet land. I said that reverse, but it's okay. So ask about the brigands. I know little about them except they must be wealthy now. Wealth? I hoped to return to my homeland with the profits Abdullah, Shima, and I would make from the caravan. Now, I fear, we will remain here unless someone deals with the brigands and returns our stolen trade items. Alright, what's up here? A land of golden sand and tall mountains, a city of tall buildings and winding streets. A place where kata can bask in the sun as they sell things in the bazaar. It is our homeland and a place we long to be. Sounds hot. Caravan. In my homeland, a caravan is the only way to travel from city to city. Bummer. Alright, well, what's your name? I already know. I am Shamin, a poor, unfortunate, forced to seek fortune in this cold land, far away from my homeland and my kata people. Okay, well, homeland. We lived far to the south, in the desert lands of Shapir. Someday we may yet return there. Okay, kata. We are a race of desert dwellers and wanderers of the endless sands. Shapir. Yep, alright. I already read all that. My fault. Sorry, guys. Alright, town. Spielberg is a sad place for an innkeeper, for few travels visit because of the brigands. Spielberg. This is a cold land for a kata. Sheriff. He comes in with his wife sometimes for food. He's very wise and generous. Otto. There is no end to the food that one can eat. Oh, of course, he's a giant goon. Alright, let's ask about the inn. This is the Hero's Tail Inn, where Shima and I will be delighted to serve you. The softest and safest of beds, the richest and finest of foods awaits you. You have but to command. And let's ask about Shima. Shima is my beloved, and she can cook and keep it in as few others. When she dances, there is true magic. If we ever return to Shapir, then she shall again dance. I said that wrong, but who cares? Alright. So, enough already. So if we want to have breakfast, let's go ahead and go here. You take a seat at the nearest table. I am Shima. Allow me to serve you, wanderer from afar. Do you wish food or drink? Well, let's get some food. Hold on, questions. It is Shamin who is the speaker for the house, for I have much work to do to serve you. If you wish to know more such about things, you should speak to him. Okay, wow, bummer. Okay, well, let's get food then. We have a very good stew of newborn lamb, along with honey chicken for a mere 3 silvers. Coffee is included in the price of the meal. Alright, well, here's our inventory right here, which I didn't go too much into last time. So, we have items right here. We've got 4 gold pieces and 10 silver, 5 trail rations, 1 broadsword, 1 leather jerkin, and 1 shield. So let's just grab our money pouch. Oh, that tells us how much we're wearing and how much we can carry, at least. Okay, so let's go ahead and buy ourselves a meal. You pay Shima for the meal. As you may guys have noticed, there is a score up here near the top of the screen. Doing things and asking questions and learning things increases your score. The score doesn't actually reflect anything other than score, but you can know how much you've accomplished by the score as well. I bring you that which you ordered. May it please and satisfy you. Alright, let's dig in. The food tastes surprisingly good, and the drink is delicious. It can be assumed that some time passes as we have eaten our meal. Permit me to clear the table for you. I mean, otherwise, then this would just be impossible. Guys, you have to have an imagination. Oh, you see a sign that says, please don't touch. Besides, Shamin is watching you. Okay, well, I just wanted to get up from the table. So, there we go. Alright, so this is the inn, and if we were to pay for a room, we could stay here for the night. But we don't need to. We'll probably come back around supper time and see what is up with the merchant Abdullah. But yes, let us make our way to the guild hall, which is this direction. Alright, let's take a quick look around. The eye over the magic shop seems to be watching you. She is the only sane person here. At least she's not off her rocker. Yes, there's going to be tons of jokes like that in this game. This is one of those old Sierra games, so if you didn't already know, expect for the puns. Those terrible, terrible puns. Judging from what the sign says, the building at the end of the street is the Guild Hall, which is exactly where we want to be. You enter the Adventurers Guild Hall. This Adventurers Guild Hall reminds you of the one in your hometown. The traditional moose head and other stuffed monsters, Saurus, Troll, Griffin, Dragon, Chitar, and the terrible Antwerp adorn the walls. You see a registration book on the table, and the bulletin board full of job listings. The man seated near the window must be the guildmaster. He is snoring. Let's take a look around. Let's look at him. It looks like this old guildmaster doesn't do much adventuring anymore. Still, he looks like he was plenty tough in his day, and he probably has many a tale to tell. Even in death, this monster remains fearsome. The plaque reads, Dragon, slain by Baron Stefan von Spielberg. This head is like a panther's, but with a strong human-like quality. It is still rather frightening. The plaque reads, Chitaur, slain by Wolfgang Abentur. Looks like this must have been a particularly nasty troll. You wouldn't want to meet him in a dark forest. The plaque reads, Troll, slain by Wolfgang Abentur. What's this? This is certainly a weird one. You've never seen anything quite like it. The plaque reads, Antwerp, slain by 2 guys from Andromeda. And that's actually kind of an Easter egg, because the 2 guys from Andromeda are the people who made the Space Quest games. So there's always a little nod here and there. The plaque reads, the plaque under the moose says, courtesy of Sierra Online Prop Department. The window looks out over the countryside, but I wanted to look at this thing. You never saw a purple saurus before you came to Spielberg, but it looks like a really stupid monster. The plaque reads, Saurus slain by Hans Half-Witten. Okay then. The fire blazing cheerfully in the fireplace helps warm the guildmaster's old bones. What about this painting over here? The tapestry is so rotten it would probably fall apart at the slightest touch. Okay, yes. What about this suit of armor? A past adventurer's armor suit. You wonder why he doesn't need it anymore. Then you see the Chitaur marks, or Chitaur claw marks. Alright, well, let's go ahead and check out this book again. Or check out the book, at least. This entry was made several years ago. It says, Baronet Bernard von Spielberg killed a troll near the Flying Falls on this 23rd day of October. Can I read another one? The other pages record the exploit of great adventures of Spielberg's past. The names Wolfgang Abentur and Baron Stefan von Spielberg appear most often. Same thing? The remaining pages are blank, awaiting further tales of adventure. Well, let's just see what we can do with it now. You sign your name into the adventurer's logbook with a flourish. Alright. Now let's see if we can't talk to this old man. The guildmaster appears to be hard of hearing. Perhaps you should get closer. I was so busy, I didn't notice you come in. Welcome, welcome. It is so seldom that we have new adventures here. Most people think this valley is cursed. Alright, well, let's talk to him. Yes, as I was saying, where were we? Guildhall. This is where an adventurer can find out who needs someone brave and courageous. There are many jobs on the bulletin board over there. It is also a good place to talk about adventures on a cold afternoon. We used to play cards here once a week as well, but there are too few adventures in Spielberg anymore. They all died from monsters or brigands, or they just got too old. The adventurers. Did I ever tell you about the time when Schultz and I rid the valley of Antwerps? Yeah, we were real adventurers then, and this was a real guild hall. Now, we are just old men, and this is just a place to tell old stories. Monsters. You can see that some of the types of monsters that live around here if you look at our walls. There are trolls, griffins, chitaurs, mantrays, and goblins wandering in the woods. I hear there are even some ogres and Saurus Rexes back in the valley. There was a time when Schultz and I had gotten rid of most of the monsters around here, but we are just too old for that now. And we can go ahead and read all about the monsters. Troll. Trolls are very tough. Unfortunately, they only come out at night. The woods are very dangerous at night. I meant to say fortunately. Saurus. The Saurus is a monster easy to avoid and easy to kill for a skilled adventurer. Ogres are a lot like goons, but even meaner. Not as bright, though. Goblins. Goblins are not tough, but when they gang up, they can take out an unwary adventurer. Chitaur. Chitaurs are ferocious creatures that charge out of nowhere and try to tear you to shreds. Sometimes they succeed. Mantrays. Those weird things are magical. They are best avoided. And the Saurus Rex. Don't mistake those things for sauruses. When they come at you, it is sometimes best just to run away. Alright, something else. Okay. Let's talk about the bulletin board. Over on the wall, there is where the jobs are posted for adventurers. Some have been there a long time now. There just aren't too many good adventurers around here lately. Reward. You need to either talk to the Baron or the healer about that. Alright, the healer. Her house is just north of the town gate. She's a nice woman. Castle. The castle is just north of the healer's house. Alright, so let's ask about the trophies. Schultz and I killed most of the monsters on those walls. Let's ask about the dragon. One day, years ago, a pair of dragons tried to take over our valley. We adventurers rode out to meet them. I can still see Stefan von Spielberg charging forward on his black horse. He slew that dragon whose head you see on the wall, and the other one flew off. I hear people see that other dragon flying high overhead sometimes, but it has never dared to attack us again. What about the Antwerp? This valley was overrun by those odd monsters one year. Schultz and I fought long and hard to rid the valley of the things. We might have failed even so, had it not been for those two peculiar tourists who came to our aid. Tourists. They said they were from some place called Andromeda. Must be someplace south of here, I guess. They certainly were odd. Tourist. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's ask about the moose. That was the most vicious moose I ever saw. Nearly bit my nose off. And the troll? I remember the day I killed one. It was the biggest I had ever seen. It can put up a tough fight, but I was tougher. You can see the results on the wall. Wow, he was channeling Christopher Walken for a moment. Now what about the Chitaur? Watch out for Chitaurs. I bear the scars of my fight with the one on the wall to this day. Still, it is stuffed, and I am still alive. What about the Saurus? I remember when Hans killed the one there. It was a tough fight for him. Hans Halfwin. He wasn't much of an adventurer, but he did manage to kill a Saurus before he made the mistake of tangling with a troll. Oh, guess the troll got him. Let's just check adventures real quick. Yeah, alright. Monsters. Yeah, alright, we've already done everything in here. Oh, no. Let me ask you, that was just about the guild hall. What's your name, sir? I am Wolfgang Abentour, the guildmaster of this hall. Ask about guildmaster. I'm supposed to keep track of all the adventurers and make sure they sign their names in the log. There was a time when I would go out and rescue foolhardy adventurers who got into too much trouble, but I don't get out much now. Alright, well, is there a curse here or something? Yeah, with the Baron losing his son and daughter, Baba Yaga of all monsters, and now the brigands, it has just been one thing after another. Baron. Baron von Spielberg was once a very brave protector of our valley. We used to adventure together when I was younger. No brigand or monster would dare show his face here if the Baron had not angered Baba Yaga. Now it is said he goes nowhere and sees no one. What about the Baron's son? Now there was a hero, and worthy of the name Bernard von Spielberg. He rode off to hunt one morning 5 years ago, and his horse returned with large claw marks on it. No sign of Bernard's body was ever found. What about the Baron's daughter? Elsa was a beautiful 8-year-old child with blonde hair and sky blue eyes. She was her father, the Baron's joy. 10 years ago, she was carried off by something which flew over the wall and away with her. The search for her lasted many years, but at last everyone gave up except the Baron's jester, Yorick. Well, who's Yorick? Did you know him well? Yorick was a funny little man, but brave. He swore he would spend his life searching for the Baron's Elsa. Alright, what about Baba Yaga? She is the center of our problems, I think. Baba Yaga is a powerful ogre. Baron von Spielberg tried to force her to leave this valley, but she cursed him. Now the Baron has lost everything but his land, and I don't know how long he will keep that. What our valley needs is a hero. Hero. A real hero is someone who didn't start out strong or powerful, but uses his courage and brains and skills to become the best he can be. Well, do you need a hero? Brigands. There's a reward for anyone who can stop the brigands by capturing or killing the leaders of the brigands. You should read the bulletin board for more information. Alright. Well, let's ask about Spielberg. Spielberg Town is small now that most of the people have been driven off by the brigands. This is such a pretty place too, with the mountains, forest, and waterfalls. Mountains. The mountains surrounding this valley are very high. Snow covers the tops all year long. The only way out of Spielberg Valley is through the pass, though I hear that it is blocked by snow again. Forest. The forests are full of monsters and strange creatures. There are some nice waterfalls to the southeast of town. They fill Mirror Lake, which is lovely, but icy cold all year round. Waterfalls. Oh, I already asked about those. Town. This town used to be a thriving city before the brigands drove most of the people off. The magic show. I don't know much about magic, but the woman who runs that place scares me. Dry goods. Casper at the store would like to be an adventurer, or so he says. He spends too much time dreaming and not enough doing, I think. What about the tavern? I have never liked that place. The bartender smiles all the time, but he is not very friendly. Crusher lives up to his name. He is nasty, even for a goon. Goon. A goon is a lot like an ogre, but not as tough, but a little smarter. The sheriff's Otto and Crusher at the tavern are both goons. Alright, what about the bakery? I think the bakery is almost always closed now. The baker tries to stay away from his wife. What about the butcher? I don't think the butcher shop is open much anymore either. What about the farmer's mart? The farmer's mart is run by the centaurs, Heinrich Pfefferden and his daughter Hilda. Centaur. There are not too many centaurs in this land. Heinrich and Hilda are good people. Alright, well, I guess all that's left is Schultz Maesterson. Schultz Maesterson and I have been friends for a long time. He too was once a real adventurer. Now he is just the sheriff of this town. Otto. I like Otto, even if he is a goon. Schultz has him almost trained. Alright, well, enough already. I think we're done here. So let's just go ahead and check out this bulletin board. Oh shit, he fell asleep fast. Alright, well guys, I think that does about this episode. We've learned a lot about the situation surrounding where we are now. It appears there's a curse, and there's been robberies and everything else. So next episode, we shall start out to do something about that. Take care guys, and I'll see you later.